Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jet Setting full ship tour. Today we're taking you on board the Ovation of the Seas. It had a nice little stopover in Los Angeles in the summer of 2025, so I was able to make it on board for a 3-night voyage. Built in 2016, it's part of the Quantum class of ships from Royal Caribbean. It's 1,141 feet long. It can hold 4,180 passengers at double occupancy, 4,905 passengers at maximum occupancy. So we're going to do a top to bottom full tour of the Ovation of the Seas in this video, starting out at the top decks. So thanks a lot for watching and let's get going. We're going to start out on deck 16, which is not a full deck. It's split into several different parts throughout the ship. In the middle of the ship is the Suite Sun Deck. This is exclusive to the suites on board, the Star class sailors. And this is a little different than some of the suite decks that I've seen on other ships in the fleet because there's no pool, there's no exclusive hot tub, it's just sun loungers here on the deck. Forward on this deck is going to be the Vitality Fitness Center, and I really did love the fitness center on board the Ovation of the Seas. When this class premiered, it was the largest gym at sea, and you can definitely tell this is definitely a massive fitness center. Plenty of machines, plenty of treadmills, ellipticals, lots of weights, very comfortable space. Enough room for me as 6 feet tall to be able to lift weights above my head in full. Not every ship's gym can do that. So very, very nice gym. All the way forward here, great views of the ocean or the port if you're getting a workout in. Love that they have TRX bands down there for classes as well. And I do like how Royal Caribbean organizes a lot of their ships. A lot of the adults only areas or adults focused areas are going to be in the forward part of the ship, away from maybe some of the busier pools that families frequent. And so this is definitely the case on board Ovation. Very nice fitness center here. And they even have a small little fitness studio where they'll host different classes, some for an extra charge, sometimes the morning stretch, things like that. An apps class is going to be included in your cruise fare. So just keep that in mind. They do have spin class as well. And while we're here on this part of the ship, we'll duck down to deck 15 here and check out the Ovation of the Seas spa and salon. Now this is a little different feeling than any of the other spas and salons that I've toured on my mini Royal Caribbean voyages. This one seemed like they had a huge emphasis on treatment rooms, which is great if it's a busy voyage with lots of massages booked. But if you're someone who really likes that thermal suite, I felt like this one was pretty disappointing. Not gigantic by any means. Some decent ocean views here, but overall, I just felt like the space was definitely lacking. Other suites across the fleet just seem like they have like a little bit more open space, felt like more of a place to really relax, and it just didn't feel like that here. One part of the spa that I did think was pretty impressive though were the kind of Medi Spa area, places that you can get different facial treatments or even IV bags if you're maybe a little hungover or need a little vitamin boost while on vacation. The salon area was right next to that as well. So that area seemed very built out, very purposely built. I just felt like the rest of the facilities kind of felt like an afterthought. And, overall, I feel like on Royal Caribbean, I'm not a big spa guy, but I do feel like overall the spas have never been a big focus on these ships. Next to that is the indoor pool. We'll tour that in just a minute when we make it to the deck. But we're here on deck 15, walking the jogging track. So very impressive jogging track here on Ovation. About 3 laps is a mile, just under 3 laps. So pretty massive track, bigger than the normal size tracks you might find at a high school in the US. And then here's our first look at one of the most defining features of this class of ship, and this is the North Star. It's an observation wheel that takes you over 300 feet above sea level when it's fully extended on this massive boom arm, kind of like one of those fancy Ferris wheels that you'll see in London, except it's just one pod. So they'll take you up and you have nice views. It's completely free on port days, and on sea days, they do an extended experience that actually goes over the side of the ship 90 degrees, which is pretty cool. But you do have to book that in advance. Typically, it does sell out. And then they have the North Star bar here as well with great views of the pool deck. So overall, it's a really fun experience. You just step on board, book the experience on the app as soon as you connect to Wi-Fi, and that one is going to be completely free. I did this on my embarkation day and had a great time checking out the Port of Los Angeles from the very top of the North Star. So this is definitely as high as you're going to get on Ovation of the Seas, and really pretty much any ship out there unless you're on some special type of ship that is not a cruise ship. This is a really cool feature of these Quantum class ships. So definitely take advantage and do this at least once. If you are afraid of heights, this is not an experience for you by any means, but it's definitely a cool one. Lasts about 15 minutes for the free experience. And then here's a shot of the North Star on a sea day going over the side of the ship, which is pretty cool, I have to admit. Making our way aft on the jogging track, you can see a lot of sun loungers available here on this deck. Overall, this voyage that I was on was pretty chilly even for August, so wasn't getting a lot of action on my voyage. But this jogging track I really did use and really enjoyed, just having a pretty clear path without a lot of traffic crossing the jogging path, which can definitely be an issue. This is a warmer voyage on Ovation of the Seas. I could see that being an issue just because of how close these sun loungers are to the track. Now inside right before SeaPlex is going to be the living room, and the living room is a teen club on board. And you'll find video games and things like that in there, different activities just for that age group, 12 to 17. It makes sense to be right here at the SeaPlex. This is a pretty special space as well. It's very unique on the fleet, only available in this class of ship. It's basically a full-size indoor sports court that they can do tons of different things with. I tried out rollerblading, not very well, I gotta admit, but they have basketball, as you can see, a full court basketball court, and then they bring out the bumper cars at certain points of the voyage. This is gonna be when you see the longest line on any voyage. I had the key, and that's a nice little tip for you. If you get the key, you get a fast pass to skip what was often a 2-hour wait for the bumper cars. Also on the ground floor of the SeaPlex is the ship's arcade. Again, going to be located next to its premier customer base, the teenagers wanting to go play in their own type of casino, the arcade. So great that they have that up here, but the SeaPlex is actually 2 stories tall. And so we head up the stairs here and check out what there is indoors here. This is great for a cold weather itinerary. These ships sail a lot to Alaska, and they were kind of designed for that in mind. It's really great on these Pacific sailings as well. So you can definitely have a lot of fun indoors without, worrying about the weather. But you have all of your foosball tables, your air hockey, different arcade games up here. You're also going to have ping pong, so you don't have to deal with the wind of a cruise ship. I always find that kind of funny when people are trying to play ping pong. It can get a little difficult trying to deal with the wind a little bit. So plenty of tables here on the second floor. They even have a small DJ booth. They have different events that go on throughout the cruise here. The biggest, like I said, was the bumper cars, and then roller skating was pretty popular as well. And I thought it was interesting that they had an Xbox branded experience here on the second level. So you had 5 different televisions that had Xbox hooked up to them. You could rent out controllers and play some video games to your heart's content. Of course, in those teen clubs, you're going to find a lot of video games as well, but pretty fun experience there for the whole family to be able to try out some fun Xbox games, and you have great views of the sports court below. You have some more ping pong tables over here to the left. Then you have to make your way all the way back around to find the stairs most of the time because these stairs are often blocked off. Downstairs also has one food option, the SeaPlex Doghouse. You find this on the boardwalk on the Oasis class ship, so similar menu there. A little bit crammed in here in the corner, but I do like how it's kind of like a taco truck type of feel. So outside, we're going to walk around, check out some more of the area here. This is definitely an activities area on Ovation of the Seas. You have shuffleboard right here, and then you're going to have a number of different really unique activities right here on deck 15. Now, the FlowRider is not going to be one of those. This is available on many of the ships. It's incredibly popular. Some of the ships even have 2 of them. The Ovation only has 1, so that gets quite popular. They have some stand-up lessons that you can do, or stand-up sessions if you're good at surfing already. Definitely popular with everyone here. And a lot of times these sun loungers are going to be more available than the ones closer to the pool, so that's a little tip for you. Come aft, hang out at the FlowRider, hear all the screams of fun. I love how they have benches that you can watch your family or friends wiping out on the FlowRider. It's definitely going to happen. So pretty cool that they have that here. A little bit elevated on this ship, a little bit different than how the Oasis class does it, but a really fun time for sure. Now, if the North Star wasn't unique enough, you also have indoor skydiving. RipCord by iFLY is available on the ship. It is completely free as well. You book it the same way in the app as soon as you connect to the ship's Wi-Fi. Definitely recommend doing that immediately once you get on board. You can also pay for the experience in advance and get a little bit longer time in the air tube, but you get dressed, they show you a short demonstration video, and then a group of about 10 get a minute in the air funnel, Really fun. It's a little tougher than it looks, honestly, but really fun. They have a photographer there taking photos of you that you can purchase after your experience. Right next to that is also the climbing wall. It's a very unique climbing wall here. It's on the side of the ship. Pretty large, so really nice that they have that available. This is one of the most popular things on Royal Caribbean. Definitely put them on the map back in the 90s of having that type of experience on a cruise ship. Love the panda art here. The mama panda, I'm guessing, reached down to her kiddo. And we got back on the jogging track, and you can see those little cutouts above us from the SeaPlex where all of those gaming tables were. Now you have your first look at Splashaway Bay. This is the area for the younger kids on deck. This is one big difference with the Ovation of the Seas from a lot of the other ships in the line is that there are no large water slides. The only water slide you're going to find in Splashaway Bay. So that's definitely a trade-off with all the other unique activities that they have here. Some of the older kids are definitely not going to like that about Ovation of the Seas, but the younger kids still well taken care of with a nice splash pad, small water slide just for them. A little bit of like whirlpool action, very unique pool that they offer. And this is all located on deck 14, which is going to be where the Windjammer and Coastal Kitchen is. The Coastal Kitchen is going to be available just for suite guests. So junior suites and above get access into here, different times depending on your suite level or level within Royal Caribbean's loyalty program. And this is going to be located right next to the Windjammer. So not as private as some of the Oasis class ships that were purposely built with those private areas just for the suite class, kind of in their own ship within a ship. Instead, it's going to be located here in the busy Windjammer area. So that's a little bit of a deterrence, I think, based on the other ships that I have toured in the line. But the Windjammer itself is so much better than a lot of the other ships that I've toured for this channel. I love the layout of all of the different buffet areas. It just makes so much more sense than a lot of the Oasis class designs. I keep comparing this ship to the Oasis class just because it's what I've sailed the most, but it's also going to be similar, I guess, in different types of itineraries that you might be choosing, and it's going to be a large ship as well. So overall, the Windjammer has a lot of different options. Walk through here during lunch on embarkation day. Very, very busy, of course, but plenty of seating. I really liked this Windjammer. I thought that they did a really good job of designing this one. So the Windjammer is going to be open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I love that they have this open for dinner. Not every cruise line out there opens their buffet for dinner anymore. I'm looking at you, Disney Cruise Line. I do love having this casual option when you've had a long day in port and you just do not want to deal with a long meal in the dining room. You can head up to the Windjammer, get pretty similar food, really good food options available here, healthy options as well. And then you can just plop right down, have your meal, be on with the rest of your night. The Windjammer will be the most busy for lunch on embarkation day and pretty much breakfast every morning, especially on sea days. So just keep that in mind. I do love this outdoor seating area though. Seemed like this was a little less busy than the other areas when I was touring around. So definitely check that out. And then on the port side of the Windjammer is also another club for the kiddos. This is called Fuel. And this is for the older teens. This is just for 15 to 17-year-olds. So nice that they have a few different options here for the different age teens, just because kids progress differently. And then right next to that is going to be a small bar serving specialty coffees. And then you have a little dessert area as well. Outside of this area, as we make our way to the pool deck, is going to be fish and chips. They serve complimentary chicken tenders, fried shrimp, and then they have extra charged lobster. So good option there on the pool deck. A little polarizing though for people that maybe want a few of the other concepts that have come out on Royal Caribbean ships. You don't see fish and chips very often. I think the last time I saw it was on Independence of the Seas, so it's not on every ship by any means. So it was fun to try it once again. But here's the pool deck that you saw, the Splashaway Bay over there to the left. You have lots of different hot tub options here. You have a main pool, of course, and then you're going to see one of the more popular areas as well. This is the ice cream, so you can get complimentary soft serve. Line can get a little long in the middle of the day, very popular. But I love this pool, nice large pool, great for activities. They have belly flop contests, of course. This is a cruise. The Sky Bar is available right beneath the North Star Bar. So it's going to have your pool menu here, so easy access to drinks if you're enjoying the pool. And then that's going to lead into this indoor pool. This is one of my favorite aspects of the Ovation's design. I love that they have an outdoor pool, but then this purely indoor pool for all ages for those bad weather days on these Pacific itineraries or Alaska itineraries. Might be sunny outside, but might be a little chilly. So great that they have this option. This area reminded me a lot of my time on some of the celebrity ships that has this type of pool setup as well. And of course, you have the pool bar there with a similar menu from the other bars available on the pool decks. You have a towel station over here to the left. So make sure that you drop off your towels and check them back in, because Royal Caribbean does charge $25 if you do not do that, which I think is a little annoying considering the price of a lot of these Royal Caribbean voyages. But that will lead us into the Solarium. And the Solarium is going to be another indoor pool area. It's going to be adults only. And this is one of my favorite areas on any Royal Caribbean ship. It's always very relaxing. It can get a little busy depending on the day, but lots of smaller, shallower pool options, more hot tubby vibes, great spot to read a book, and you have great views of the entire ocean from here. Hey, if you are enjoying this ship tour, if you love ship tours, cruise ship content in general, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking this video. It really helps us out. And if you're watching this video, trying to plan a voyage on Ovation of the Seas and you want some extra help, we run a travel agency here at Jackson Jet Setting. You can have me personally plan your cruise vacation, making sure all the details are taken care of. You can reach out to us at jacksonjetsetting.com/book for a free quote. Now, I did visit here once during my short voyage, and it was hard to find a chair. So if you are looking to grab that chair, I recommend getting here a little early. Didn't really seem like there was actual seat saving going on. It seemed like people really were enjoying the pool. There's not a ton of seating options in here, so just keep that in mind. That's a priority for you, getting in there early, or just bringing a limited amount of stuff that you don't need a chair for and pop it into the various hot tubs here. I did like the small wing that broke out that you can get really great views of sailing away from port. I feel like a lot of people don't really know about this area. On other ships, sometimes they've turned this into new suites, which is pretty cool, but this is basically where the bridge is. You're just right above the bridge. One of my favorite spots on any cruise ship. Wouldn't say it was the best views from this spot in Ensenada during this video, but you get the picture. Heading back inside, there's a few other areas I do want to point out. The Sunshine Bar, going to have that pool bar menu as well. And then inside is actually the Solarium Bistro. The Solarium Bistro is definitely a secret. It's going to be a complimentary restaurant. It's open for breakfast and dinner. You're going to have a dinner reservation system, but it's complimentary to dine here. So it's another option for kind of a buffet style experience, but a little bit more laid back. Very, very pretty in the inside here. And it's also a great spot to go grab breakfast if you want the same exact stuff, maybe a little bit more limited in the variety of options for breakfast, but want to kind of beat the rush and enjoy a little bit of a nicer environment eating your food. I do recommend stopping by the Solarium Bistro in the morning. Now we'll walk back through the indoor pool, take a look at some more of the hot tubs as well as the different seating options on the side of the ship here, and then make our way to Splashaway Bay. There is a small bar over here to the right, and this is the smoking section of the ship. So I don't love that Royal Caribbean often does this, where you're going to be walking through, maybe you have kids, maybe you don't, you just don't enjoy the smell of smoke. That is available right here, kind of on the open deck. I don't love that. And then here's the other side of Splashaway Bay. So the kids that are not potty trained are allowed to use this pool right here. They have sort of the water table fun available there. Saw a lot of kids having a ball in there. And this makes our way back to the Windjammer. So now we're heading inside. Deck 13 is just going to have one public area. It's the conference center, just for people that book conferences on board. And then deck 12 and 11 is going to feature the Adventure Ocean, which is going to be for the younger kids in your group. It's going to be ages, 6 months for the nursery, but then from 3 until 12, they're going to enjoy a lot of more structured activities in here. Lots of different breakout rooms, science activities. And I love that this is 2 stories on this ship. This is definitely one of the larger ones that I've seen. The Oasis class has pretty large kid areas, Adventure Oceans, but the 2-story is really cool. I do love that they have the different ages broken out in here. So you're going to have lots of different activities throughout the cruise. They're going to have their own schedule in here. Some of the other kids can check themselves out. So this allows everyone to have a great time on the voyage. They have video games in here, of course, just really, really fun. Different slides and stuff indoors. And then they even have little windows for you to spy on your very youngest children in the nursery, which is really great. And now we're going to make our way all the way down to deck 5. And this is going to be one of the biggest public decks indoors available on the ship. So I love this area. This is aft and has a number of different shops and restaurants. I love the ceiling there. Nice, fun art installations. To the right here is Jamie's Italian. This is available on a number of different ships. There's no Giovanni's, which you might be familiar with if you've sailed on some of the various different Royal Caribbean ships. Jamie's is sort of a polarizing restaurant. I actually ate here twice and quite liked the menu. I think I do like my ossobuco from Giovanni's a little bit more, but a little bit more upscale Italian or more modern take on Italian here in Jamie's. So this is going to be a specialty restaurant. It's an extra charge. It's open for lunch on some days and then dinner every evening. You have a pre-owned Rolex store here and then a high-end jewelry shop. Typically, I don't film in the shops just because, it's a little weird. I think they think I'm maybe casing the joint or something like that. But overall, a couple of different shopping experiences that you're going to see in the rest of the video here. In between all this is Vintages. This is going to be the ship's wine bar. Had a very upscale feel. They do wine tastings in here as well. I love that they have these little self-taster machines as well. Unfortunately, not included in any of the beverage packages. But if you want to do a wine tasting of your own, maybe a little self-led, you can definitely do that. But they do have a special menu here as well for an extra charge if you just want a small snack with some tapas. Very delicious option there. And they even have a humidor, so you can grab a cigar and go enjoy it on the outside deck. There is a small public deck outside of this area, and they even have some seating for Jamie's Italian. Didn't see it in use on my voyage, but they do have that on offer, and I'm sure that you could probably enjoy that cigar out here. Back indoors, there's of course the Park West Art Gallery, so you have an art auction on board. Don't buy the art. Please don't. It's not worth it. And then there's also the Next Cruise desk here, so this is a great option if you really are enjoying your Royal Caribbean cruise. Maybe you get a casino offer, you can book all this on board and get some extra promos for locking in that next vacation. Do recommend doing that. If you work with a travel agent like myself, they still get their full commission. They basically just help you out in making that first reservation. The cafe at $270 is available here too. This is another little secret option. Some to-go menus. They have some paninis that they'll heat up for you. They have a salad bar, which is great. I definitely tried the salad this trip. It was delicious. And then they have a small coffee bar as well. And this leads directly into my favorite room on the entire ship. This is 270. So this is aft. You have these amazing floor-to-ceiling windows, basically 3 decks of windows. This is a multi-purpose space. This is a theater in the evenings. They have Spectra's Cabaret, which is a specially built show. It's very, very interesting. They have all of the facilities for the dressing rooms and stuff like that beneath this stage. So actors popping out all over the place, which is really cool. They host bingo in here. They have different events and just these beautiful windows in the daytime. And then at night, it's actually projection mapped, which is really cool. And of course, you have these KUKA robots that are a screen, but there's 4 of them and they do all sorts of different stuff. It's a technological marvel. It costs them tens of millions of dollars to build this space. Of course, there's a bar in here, the 270 bar. So take a look at that. And then upstairs is some more seating for the shows, which is helpful. But then there is the ship's library. This was definitely a little bit of a secret to me. So if you've ever been on a cruise ship before, you know that there's typically a library on board, and basically they've devolved into basically leaving a book and then taking a book. It's kind of the honor system. They have some small computers for printing out some documents as well. And then they also have the workshop on the other side of the library, which is going to be more conference space. So I think the ship is really well set up for maybe corporate events, maybe a corporate retreat. I like that the workshop has some windows to the outside world here as well. They were covered up when I was filming this, but really nice that you can enjoy those sea views while doing your business at sea. So making our way back through this hallway, I love the art in this section of the ship. I love how they decorated the walls and the ceilings. Kind of felt like a coral reef walking through, which is really cool. But yeah, you have a massive atrium in here, similar to some of the Oasis class ships. And you have your glass elevators, very important. And then this is going to be the Royal Esplanade. So the Royal Esplanade is going to be similar to the Royal Promenade. The Royal Promenade is ultimately going to be my favorite indoor space on a ship, at least in terms of the kind of main walking corridors on some of these ships. The Esplanade felt a little cramped at times, especially during busier times. Didn't seem big enough to gather the whole ship into this big celebration like they have on some of the Oasis or Icon class ships. But you do have a lot of options available around here. It's 2 stories. You have this photo gallery over here to the right. Then you have Wonderland, which is another specialty restaurant. Wonderland is not going to be my favorite concept that Royal Caribbean has ever done. And I hear rumors that they're maybe trying to replace this with other concepts on different ships as they go through dry dock. This is going to be kind of a molecular gastronomy type experience. And I just don't really think it's executed all that well, but it's fun to do for the first time, I think. You definitely get to try a whole bunch of different things with your group. It's definitely a fun group experience if you're traveling with a lot of people in family or friends, stuff like that. Great views, though, of the Royal Esplanade from up here. You can see a few of the different areas that we're going to explore in just a second. Right next to Wonderland, though, is going to be Izumi. And Izumi, you may be familiar with. It's on most of the other ships, not all of them, but a lot of them. There are no teppanyaki tables currently on Ovation of the Seas, though. So it's just going to be a sushi bar and that sushi menu. The Bionic Bar is going to be located across from that, and that's a very popular option on board. I saw a lot of people grabbing some cool drinks that are made by the same types of robots that are powering the screens in 270, which is pretty cool. Very versatile technology here. When it's all closed down, the robots are just all resting. But it's really cool, and definitely gets a little busy in this spot too, because people are watching the robots. So I do wish that this was a little bit wider, just to be able to walk by people. But the shore excursion desk is going to be located right over here as well. So we kind of had to double back to do a tour of this deck. But just so you know, that is the experience there. Walking back by Izumi, we're going to go explore a lot more available here on deck 5, and then make our way down to deck 4. And then right next to Izumi is going to be a very popular bar on every single Royal Caribbean ship, and it's the Schooner Bar. Schooner Bar is going to be a host to piano. It's going to be host to trivia a lot of the time. It's going to have great whiskey drinks. It's got a great nautical theme, of course. I love the different themes. They really put a lot of effort into most of the Schooner bars, and it's nice that they have this cool ship design, the ship within a ship kind of on the Ovation of the Seas here. So lots of piano music that flows through most of the Esplanade. You hear it playing and you come up and enjoy a drink. And that's going to be located right next to the Focus Photo Gallery. So you can grab photos in here from your voyage. Diamond members and above get one free photo, so you can definitely check that out. You can pick up some items that you might have forgotten for your own camera in here as well. And if you're walking to the Schooner Bar from the opposite side of the ship, I did like the helm here. Great spot for photos. And walking through, I almost missed Chop's Grille, which is a classic on many Royal Caribbean ships. So this is the ship's traditional steakhouse. This is where you're going to get your best steak on board, and a really pretty option in here for another specialty meal. They raised the prices over the years, but overall, a very classic option on board. Something you got to do at least once. 2-story Royal Theater available here. So this is going to be the upper entrance. Very, very pretty theater and lots of different production shows throughout your voyage in here. Plenty of entertainment on Royal Caribbean ships. You definitely can't complain about that. And then right next to that is going to be the Crown Lounge. This is open to just diamonds and above most of the time, unless you're on some busy voyage that they have to exclude some of the diamond members. But it's a small space just to relax. They have a small buffet of food. And then I do like that they have a coffee machine. So saves me a little bit of money on my voyage. I don't have to pay for specialty coffees anymore. So that's really great. Nice little benefit for the diamonds and above. You do have a small concierge of sorts to help you with different options available on the ship as well during some parts of the day. So definitely check that out. Now, one of my favorite venues on board is the music hall. The music hall is available on a few different ships, but this one seemed absolutely gigantic. I love that they have this upper level with plenty of pool tables, lots of different pool tables. So that's really fun, very popular in the late evenings, as you can imagine. Big bar area. You have sports on the television screens as well. So you have a bar upstairs and then downstairs as well. And this is going to be a big focal point of the ship. Late night, they do a lot of the kind of adult-oriented games in here. And you'll see downstairs when we toured Deck 4 that it actually butts up directly into the casino, which is very unique. I have not seen that on other Royal Caribbean ships. But they have a big stage set up here. It's a little hard to see sometimes if you get in a little late, but it makes for a kind of rowdy atmosphere. A very fun spot to enjoy your late evenings on board a Royal Caribbean cruise on Ovation of the Seas. Now we'll begin our tour of Deck 4. So directly behind me is the Royal Theater, and then to the left is going to be the music hall that we just showed you. And then a number of different shops available here. So you can walk through. There's the kind of Royal Caribbean logo shop. You have some beauty items, all kind of divided up here into the shopping promenade. Very nice. Remind me a lot of my time on the Celebrity Solstice. You can check out that full tour on the channel from a few years back. So this definitely reminded me of that. So definitely some design inspiration being taken from that class of ship. Another entrance to the music hall over here to the left. And then you're going to have the Amber and Oak Pub. So the pub, a great spot in the evenings. They have live music. They have trivia throughout the day as well. They have a small extra charge menu with like fried pickles. They have a burger. So if you're looking for something a little different, you have that option available as well. Then of course, the largest beer selection on board, as well as a full menu of cocktails as well. So great spot to hang out and enjoy your time. It's going to be located next to a lot of different options here, a lot of new options for me at least. Before we explore more of that though, I wanted to give you a nice shot of the Royal Esplanade. I love the ceiling here. It changes different colors throughout the day. And then right next to the Amber and Oak is going to be the Grille fine jewelry shop. So open when the ship is not in port when I was shooting this video. So just keep that in mind if you're looking to do some shopping. Sorrento's Pizzeria is going to be located right next to Amber and Oak as well. This is open super late night, typically till about 4 a.m. So you're going to have complimentary pizza available, cheese, pepperoni, and usually a few different other options, lightly themed to Rome. So you're going to have your Coca-Cola freestyle machines in here too. You get a cup with any beverage plan that works at those machines. So that's a nice option available for people that have that. And then Cafe Promenade is going to be located right here. You're going to have some complimentary food options as well as specialty coffees. La Patisserie is going to have kind of a similar lineup, but more extra charged desserts and things like that. And then also a coffee machine as well. So a lot of options for coffee on the ship, which is nice. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to go find that specialty coffee in the morning. Right next to that is going to be Port Merchants. This is going to be on most Royal Caribbean ships, and they're going to have all of your duty-free liquor and cigarettes in there. Beautiful shot of the Royal Esplanade here. And a staircase that leads from Deck 5 all the way down to Deck 3 into the casino. Boleros is going to have Latin music in the evenings. It's a cool place to hang out. Have not really hung out here on most of my Royal Caribbean voyages. I got to change that up because they usually have a great band in here. They have a good menu with cool mojitos and things like that. So if you're into rum drinks, this is definitely your bar. Next to that is going to be guest services as well. So guest services, place to deal with any issues you might be having on board, special things. You also have the loyalty desk in here as well. So if you need to go hunt down maybe some perks that weren't delivered to your room or something like that, that'll be available there. As we walk our way through the atrium with the glass elevators again, we're going to lead to basically something that's a little different on this ship. And this is the main dining room. They're split into 4 different options available across 2 different decks. So we're going to go tour both of those here. And while this does provide a more intimate experience in those main dining rooms, I do like the grand dining rooms that I see on so many of the Royal Caribbean ships. So I know that's why they've definitely changed that on the Quantum Plus options that are sort of sister ships to the normal Quantum class, made a few adjustments. So you have a few different names that you got to remember depending on what you have been assigned. This is Silk, and then across the way is American Icon Grille. So you're going to have a fun little Route 66 map of the entire US, different interstates and things like that. So different themes, it's always fun, but I do like that grand dining room. Just feels like you're somewhere special. Then there is a staircase that connects down to Deck 3 back here, and that connects to Chic, as well as the Grand Restaurant. So, again, just pretty similar options. Going to have the same menu each evening, just have slightly different themes, different decor in there. So the main dining room is always going to be complimentary to you. It's going to be open for breakfast on sea days. It's going to be open for lunch on sea days a lot as well. So always an option that I recommend for people that just want a more casual, more leisurely meal experience with full wait staff. Really a lot of fun to enjoy that. I do enjoy that from time to time. But I do like the art that they had here in the stairwell leading up. It was very elegant feeling. Just a lot of different decor though, so you don't really get to choose which dining room that you are assigned to, so just keep that in mind. And you have so many different options for dinner on board. It's really not too big of a deal if you don't like the main dining room food one evening and go try out one of the specialty restaurants or go head up to the Windjammer. Now, since I was in port shooting this, I was able to film in the casino. So the casino on board felt a little narrow compared to other casinos I've been on in the Royal Caribbean fleet. You do have a casino bar over here to the left, and then plenty of different gaming options as far as table games here, and then a number of different machines lining the walls. So if you are looking for a casino, you are well taken care of here. Great staff in there, and it gets quite busy in the evenings, as you can imagine, as a lot of people are on board gambling. So just keep that in mind. I do sail on a lot of casino offers. Recommend if you are someone who wants to enjoy a free cruise from time to time to try your luck in the casino a little bit, just always gamble responsibly. And this is going to lead us back to what I mentioned earlier, which is the bottom level of the music hall. And so this leads directly from the casino. You even have a bank of slot machines that you can listen to all the games and fun going on behind you while you play. And that should just about do it for our tour. Down on deck 2, there is the medical center, and of course where you would disembark the ship while you're in port, but don't typically feature that in these videos. Not really something that you need to see, but just know if you're on board and you're looking for it, medical center is on deck 2. So thanks a lot for watching this full tour of the Ovation of the Seas, and I will see you on the next video.